I want to know how your breath feels against my bare soul. Not just the skin, not just the heat, but deeper, where my thoughts begin to tremble beneath the weight of need. Strip me of my defenses, my pretenses, every guarded glance I've worn like armor, and come closer, not with hands but with presence. Let your exhale carry secrets you've never dared speak, and let them settle into the hollows of me, where no one has touched. I want to feel your breath where my truths live, where shame and longing lie curled together like sleeping animals, waiting for the touch of something warm. It's not about seduction, it's about surrender. Whisper not words but essence, the breath of someone brave enough to reach me where I am unspoken. There in the softest dark, your breath will stir me, not into lust, though that may come, but into knowing. Knowing that you see me, that I am not invisible in your eyes, that you're willing to breathe not just near me, but into the marrow of who I am, until I feel whole. That breath is not mere air, it's a language. Each inhale, a question, each exhale, an answer folded into the quiet. When you lean close and I feel your breath skim my collarbone, it sends ripples beneath my flesh, past blood and sinew, into something more elemental. It's like your soul is brushing against mine, testing the shape of me, in ways that hands cannot. And when you pause just there, your breath lingering before a kiss or a whisper, I feel suspended in a space that defies gravity. Every molecule of me leans toward you, craving that next warmth, that silent wordless confession. The way your breath dances across my skin is the beginning of poetry, not of lines but of pulses, building like the swell of a chorus. And when your lips part but say nothing, just breathing across my chest, my neck, my open wounds of yearning, it's not silence, it's intimacy so loud it drowns out everything else. I want more than your touch. I want the breath that lives behind your eyes, the wind that knows your truth, filling me where I'm most hollow. Let me lie beneath you, not in dominance or submission, but in openness, a canvas waiting for your breath to become art. I imagine it, your lips inches from mine, yet not kissing, just exhaling truth and hunger, and some sacred reverence that speaks to my most aching places. There is something holy about a breath held just before it touches, its promise and anticipation, a shiver just at the edge of becoming. I want your breath in those places behind my ear, down the line of my jaw, across the curve of my ribs where my heart panics against bone. Not rushed, not consumed, just felt deeply like a prayer. Your breath will teach me where I ache the most, and where I can finally release. Let it gather in my navel, in the valleys and ridges of my bare existence. Let it settle in the bend of my knee, between my fingers, in the silence behind my words. I want to be mapped by your breath. I want to be named by it. Because if anything can reach my bare soul, it's that. The breath of someone who truly sees you doesn't feel like wind. It feels like revelation. Your breath, hot and slow, tracing along my neck, stirs something ancestral in me, something older than words. I feel the ghosts of my past rise to listen, to be soothed by something that finally feels like it understands them. That's what your breath does. It speaks to the lost parts of me, the fragments I've hidden beneath smiles and bravado. When you breathe across my hip, my spine curves not from desire but from release, a loosening of the pain I've held too long. Each gust of your exhale is a balm, smoothing jagged edges where I thought I'd broken beyond repair. And in those moments my soul sighs in time with you, synchronizing with your rhythm like a tide returning home. You don't even have to touch me. Your breath is already undoing me, rethreading my pieces into something whole again. It is warmth without pressure, closeness without invasion. It's the beginning of healing, the place where pleasure and peace collide and leave me breathless. Sometimes I think your breath has a memory of its own. It finds the hollows in me like it's been there before, like it knows exactly where I ache. It lingers on my scars, not just the visible ones, but the ones only I can feel, the ones etched beneath the surface in the marrow. When your breath touches them, I feel them shimmer, not in pain but in recognition. Your breath does not flinch, it accepts, it sees the ruin and still exhales love, desire, understanding. That's how I know this is different. Anyone can touch skin. But to breathe upon a soul requires gentleness, courage and care. You breathe as though you're offering yourself, not just taking. As though your lungs have found purpose in sharing their warmth with the pieces of me that forgot what warmth felt like. And I receive it like air after drowning, like light after years of dusk. I don't want to be touched until your breath has spoken. Let it go first. Let it find the hidden language of my body, and write sonnets across my soul. There are moments when your breath becomes the only truth I can believe. Everything else, words, logic, even touch, feels unreliable. But your breath, steady and warm, carries a rhythm that I trust. It says I am here. It says you are seen. And when you lie close, your mouth near my chest, your breath spreading across me like sunlight, I feel a peace that cannot be named. It's in those quiet seconds that something ancient stirs, an understanding that this, right here, is sacred. Your breath doesn't just warm me, it awakens me. It stokes the fire in my soul and tells it, gently, it's okay to burn. It doesn't demand or assume, it simply arrives, a soft gust that carries presence and promise. I want to memorize its weight, the way it shifts when you're about to speak, the way it trembles when your body quivers with need. Let me breathe you in, not just your scent but your presence, your entire being. Let me taste the life that escapes your lips. And when I exhale, I'll return a part of me into your air. With every breath you offer me, I find myself unfolding. Parts of me I thought long dead or dormant, now wake with electric clarity. Your breath against my shoulder makes my skin bloom with awareness, like morning frost melting into softness. I feel vulnerable, yes, but not afraid. Your breath doesn't threaten, it invites. It invites me to let go of the masks I've worn, the expectations I've held like shields, and to simply be. In your breath there is no judgment, only acceptance. You don't try to fix me or name me. You just breathe and let that be enough. And somehow that is more than enough. It is everything. I want to fall asleep with your breath ghosting my spine, and wake with it warming the small of my back. I want your exhale to be the soundtrack of my healing, my becoming, my return to something real. With each breath we erase distance, dissolve doubt, and come back to the truth that has always waited in silence. That truth is simple, you breathing into me, is love in its most raw honest form. Let's lie together hearts bared and speak only in breath. Let's abandon the need for explanation, for labels, for structured talk and instead let your exhale meet mine in the quiet between beats. I'll turn toward you, and with each breath you give, I'll draw in more than air. I'll draw in the belief that I am worthy of your nearness. You'll breathe, and I'll feel it flutter against my ribcage like a bird taking flight, wild and gentle all at once. And in that moment, I'll know what it is to be alive. Truly alive. No pretense, no masks, just a soul learning the language of another through the most tender contact imaginable. I want you to breathe across every place I've buried longing, every corner I've left dark and awaken them. Your breath is a candle in my night, soft and unwavering. Let it guide me back to myself, through you. Because if love is anything, it must be this. Breath shared in silence, souls pressed close enough to feel seen, and the promise that neither of us will ever be alone in the dark again. Just say the word and I'll melt into you. One syllable whispered in the hush between heartbeats, and I will come undone in your arms, soft as wax under flame. My body, no longer mine, would flow into every crevice you offer, surrendering to your warmth like something meant to be shaped by your touch. All it takes is your voice, the weight of desire wrapped in vowels, and I would forget the world outside of us. Every hesitation I've carried, every wall I've built, would collapse under the power of your command. I'd dissolve where you stand, tracing the outline of your longing with mine, fluid and fervent. There would be no need for explanations, no space for shame, just that word, that unspoken agreement, that sacred consent muttered like a secret prayer, and I'd give myself over entirely. The distance between us would disappear, swallowed by heat, replaced by something deeper than flesh. Say it. Let the syllables fall like sparks, and I'll melt into the shape of your need, wrapped around your edges, a living answer to the hunger in your eyes. Say it, and I become something new, something raw and real, and ready. There is a frequency to your voice that stirs things inside me, that language alone can't touch. You could build worlds with your words, but instead you choose to unmake mine, one command at a time. With a single breath I become liquid desire, slipping between the lines of your longing. I will not resist. I do not wish to. This is not weakness, it is worship. To melt is to trust. To fall is to believe in the gravity of you. In your mouth lives the kind of invitation that doesn't beg, it possesses. And I want to be possessed. I want to be rewritten by the heat of your utterance, baptized in every whisper you gift me. There is no need for grand speeches, no poetry, no practiced charm. Just the bare truth of your voice, and I will fold into it like dusk swallows light. Just say the word, whatever it is, and I'll follow its echo into the spaces between your ribs, into the hollow where your heartbeat waits for mine. You don't even know the power you hold, how the curve of your tongue against a syllable could render me breathless. You don't need to reach for me, I'm already reaching for you, pulled by something deeper than hands. It is not desperation, it is devotion. I ache not for attention but for immersion, for the moment your voice breaks the silence, and invites me inside. I've been standing on the edge of you, waiting, holding the heat in my throat, wondering how much of me could fit inside the sound of your want. Just say the word, and I'll show you. I'll pour into you like rain into thirsty earth, seeping into every place you didn't know was dry. This isn't about giving up, it's about giving in. Let me fall apart in the language of your desire. Let me unmake myself for you, word by word, breath by breath. I'm not asking for forever, I'm asking for right now, for the magic of this moment. Say it and watch me melt, not from weakness, but from the strength of finally being seen, being chosen, being claimed. Melt into you. How those words throb like a pulse beneath my skin, waiting to be fulfilled. They speak of more than touch, they speak of surrender, the kind of surrender that is deliberate and absolute. I don't offer myself lightly. No, this is not some shallow transaction. This is sacrifice and indulgence, all at once. Say the word, and I'll become steam against your lips, warmth blooming down your spine, need pooling between your bones. Say the word, and I'll lose all shape but the one you crave. I want you to feel the shift in me, that tremble of release when restraint uncoils, and I offer up all the soft wanting pieces I've guarded for too long.
In your arms, I'm safe enough to dissolve, brave enough to be bare. Just one word and I'll forget every reason I once had to hold myself back. I'll forget fear. I'll forget time. I'll remember only this. Your voice calling me home. Your hands waiting. your breath beckoning me forward. Say it, and I'll become yours. A flame poured into the mold of your desire, burning only for you. There's a storm in your silence, but the calm in your word would be my undoing.